my normal intake of zinc has run quite low, and I've been feeling very sluggish for about the last 5 days, and it's been like a chronic sluggishness where I just didn't have energy that I felt I should have, and I'm thinking it's probably because I've run low. I've severely cut back on my intake of zinc. So these mussels should help restore my intake of zinc. Maybe tonight I'll snack on some nuts and should feel a lot better. I'm predicting that tomorrow I'll probably feel a lot better. Well, it's early August, and I've been feeling run down for about, I want to say about the last 5 days especially. I've been feeling really run down. And I think I might be able to fix this by consuming more zinc in my diet. Clams tend to be very high in zinc, and usually I eat clams, like 4 clams on a weekly basis. I treat myself to 4 clams once a week, roughly, not religiously, but roughly. And clams are very high in zinc, and I usually eat nuts like pistachios, walnuts, sunflower seeds, and I haven't been doing that for quite a while. Like I'd say the last month and a half, I haven't been eating nuts, which are high in zinc, and I haven't been eating clams, which are high in zinc. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to feel chronically run down. And so I did a quick Google search on zinc and energy levels, and it seems that zinc is a good contributor to higher energy levels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook a meal, and part of that meal is going to involve mussels, which are they're somewhat high in zinc. They're not as high as clams. They're about half. Clams are very high in zinc, and the mussels are about half as high in zinc. But I bought the mussels because in months that months that have the letter J, an old fisherman told me are the months that you want to avoid buying clams, because you're likely to get stinkers. You're likely to get clams that don't smell good and really shouldn't be eaten. And that's most likely going to happen in the months that have a J, like January, June, and July. And this being August, I just went today to the grocery store, the one that tends to have the freshest clams, and they said that they haven't had clams for quite a while. Again, this is August 8th, so I figured this would be a safe time to get clams, but they said no, it's been too hot for them to get them in. So I'm going to trust their judgment, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my fallback. If I can't get hold of clams, then I've got the frozen mussels. So I'm going to go ahead and try to give these, I'm going to go ahead and cook these mussels the way that I cooked them throughout June and July. And it's very simple. I got them from Aldi. I'll go ahead and turn the camera here towards my oven and get these things cooking. Let's get down the pot. So we've got the pot that I'm going to gently cook the clams in. The instructions say to cook them quickly on higher heat. I don't like cooking things at high heat. And that's because of one of the books that I've been reading. But right now let's look at these mussels. These came from Aldi. It says down here that they've been cooked and frozen. So because they're cooked, it's not crucial that they hit any temperature, and any specific temperature. Ordinarily, seafood should be cooked to at least 145 degrees Fahrenheit. I think to play it safe, it's probably not a bad practice to cook everything to 165 to 170 degrees roughly Fahrenheit before consuming it. But because these are already cooked, and because I'm going to let them gently steam, I feel confident that they're going to hit 170 degrees Fahrenheit. And since they're already cooked, that's not even crucial, but so I'll go ahead and, like I said, these came from Aldi. I think they were about roughly $3, maybe a little less than $3 for the full 14 ounces. Okay, it comes in this plastic wrapper. I'll go ahead and cut that plastic wrapper. Now I should be able to peel the two halves apart. And I'm going to put the clams in with the liquid that's frozen around them. So that liquid is kind of like a salt water. But it's a salt water that's okay to consume. Okay, all the mussels are into the pot, or into the frying pan. Go ahead and grab my lid. That's my new storing spot for my lids. Got my lid. We'll bring it over here to the oven, or to the stove top. Cover up the frying pan, and now I found that my burner, if I don't let it sit on a fairly high flame for about 10 or 12 seconds and I go straight to low, if I do that, the flame might die. So I'm going to let it stay hot for just a little bit, and then I'll go all the way to low. That's on the lowest setting. It's going to cook there for about, I don't know, 20 minutes on the lowest setting. Somewhere between 5 and 20 minutes, I'll start to get little whiffs of steam coming out, and that's when I'll turn off the burner and go ahead and eat those pre-cooked clams, because like I said, or pre-cooked mussels. Because like I said, they're cooked already and then frozen. If they weren't cooked already, I'd be a little bit more persnickety about making sure that they hit at least 145 degrees. I think the box says 165 degrees. No, I don't think the box says that because it's already been cooked. But if it wasn't cooked, then the box would say 165 to 170 degrees, and I'd be very cautious to make sure that I hit that. But that's it. This will be very easy to consume. I think that's going to be it for this video. But my goal is to try and re-establish a more normal intake of zinc, because like I said, I've been neglecting to eat nuts, which are high in zinc, and I've been neglecting to eat the clams, or because June and July, those 2 months just happened, is why I haven't been buying the clams, which means that my normal intake of zinc has run quite low, and I've been feeling very sluggish for about the last 5 days, and it's been like a chronic sluggishness where I just didn't have energy that I felt I should have, and I'm thinking it's probably because I've run low. I've severely cut back on my intake of zinc. So these mussels should help restore my intake of zinc. Maybe tonight I'll snack on some nuts. And should feel a lot better. I'm predicting that tomorrow I'll probably feel a lot better, and throughout the upcoming week too, because I will probably continue to more frequently incorporate the mussels into my diet for as long as I cannot get hold of clams, fresh raw clams. And I do plan to make a video about opening the clams and eating the clams, or preparing the clams, and then I don't know that you'll want to watch me eat them, but opening them should be a good video. Anyhow, I think that's it. Have a good evening. Bye.